for the
I was just wondering if it was. Well,
you can start it if you don't want.
yeah, we can start.
You want to start it, we
Okay.
let's try to get the video going, but we can. Sure. It's being recorded, right?
Yeah.
So, very least, we post it with video.
Okay, may call this meeting to order for the Salem-Keizer Transportation Study. It is August 25th, 2026. And let's go around the room for introductions. So I'm Lyle Morris, Polk County Commissioner and Chair.
Sadie Carney, Chariot's board member, Subdistrict 3.
Mike Shoplichter, Mayor. Kevin Cameron, Marion County Commissioner.
Delasini, City of Elmsville.
Kyle Duran, Keizer City Councilor.
Jamie Kunsgard, Northeast Keizer Neighborhood Association.
Jack Green, Grand Northeast County Neighborhood Association.
Mel Fuller, Salem-Keizer School Board Zone 7.
Steve Dobernich, SKATS staff. Mike Jaffe, Transition Planning Director. Tim Sabinar, Senior Planner. Ray Jackson, Senior Planner, SKATS.
Okay, Carmichael, Interim Executive Director at the COG.
And the honorary person that's just entered the room.
Julie Hoy, Mayor of Salem.
And can you go down the ones online for me?
Sure. Anna?
Hi, Anna Henson, ODOT Area Manager. I'm sorry that I'm not there in person today. I had back-to-back meetings and didn't have much of a choice. And we can't see you. I know you probably know that. I'm hoping we can see you soon.
Working on the camera.
Before Christmas. Yeah. Brandon?
Brandon can't unmute. He sent a message in the chat.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, Tyler.
Tyler Yomelet, I am outside general counsel for the SKATS is the board today.
And Tony.
Hi, Tony Whitler. I'm listening in. Marion County Board of Commissioners Office.
Thank you.
Is that everyone?
That's everyone.
Excellent. Okay, next up is approval of the minutes from July 28th, 2026. Any comments or concerns? Got a motion for approval.
I'll motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
Oh,
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Any nay votes? Motion passes. Time for public comments or somebody from the public like to address the board. Hearing none. Let's move on to item D, federal performance measures and target setting. Ray Jackson.
Last month, we talked about
Can those online see the screen?
Yes.
Last month we talked about the federal performance measures for highway and transit, and brief overview of all of them. This month we're going to discuss and set targets for 2 of the performance measures. And then we're going about the next steps. So SKATS is required to set SKATS specific targets for the annual peak hour excessive delay per capita and the percent of non-single occupancy vehicle travel. You need to have these targets adopted and submitted to ODOT before their submittal to Federal Highway by October 1st. Last month, we talked about annual peak hour excessive delay per capita, and just a little reminder, this is the excessive delay is the extra amount of time spent in congested conditions defined by speed thresholds below a normal delay threshold. So the speed threshold is 60 miles per hour or 60% of 20 miles per hour or 60% of the posted speed limit, whichever is greater. So for I-5, within the SKATS urban area, 60 miles per hour would be 36%. This is calculated for 6 to 10 a.m. and 3 to 7 p.m. on weekdays on all roads on the national highway system. And this month I provided in your packet a map of all the national highway system roads shown, the I-5 and the principal arterials. And the calculation is done via a tool that is made available via the generosity of ODOT using data collected from cars from a third-party vendor. Just as a visualization for excessive delay, we have our regular everyday delay, which is above the 60% or 20 miles an hour. And then below that would be the excessive delays. And this is calculated for each road segment on each of the national highway system roads. And summed over for a year and divided by the population of within SKATS to give us the annual peak hour excessive delay per capita. So what happened last time? For the 22 to 25 performance period, policy committee met and discussed this in 2022. So some of you might remember this, and set targets for the mid-year and peak year or 4-year targets of less than or equal to 7 hours. In 2023, which is the 2-year midpoint period for that performance period, the actual result number was 7 hours, so we met the target. But for 2025, the 4-year end period, the actual value was 7.5 hours, so the target was not met. No repercussions because the targets, there's no penalty for not making the targets, and there's no benefit for making. The TAC discussed this, setting the targets for the next performance period. So this is from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2029. The baseline target is 7.2 hours. The baseline has changed because we're using our new SKATS boundary, including Almsville, and more importantly, not more importantly, but also including Oregon 22 East and a little bit more of I-5 below Delaney. So those are included, plus we have extra population. The TAC discussed and recommended a target of 7.5 hours. This is based in part to considering that during this time period, the Center Street seismic project will be underway. Phase 1 should be completed in 2030, so we'll have 3 years of that project to have excessive delay. And considering possible changes in work from home rate, transit, economy as a whole. So we can either discuss these individually or we can discuss these at the end. And I should ask for this, but does anyone have a preference of discussing targets now for each one now or all together later?
I think if we break it up, that would lead to more productive conversation.
Okay. Well, this is the conversation and discussion point. So the TAC recommended 7.5 hours, excuse me, for the midpoint and endpoint of the next performance period. Discuss.
And it seems our geographic area has increased, our population has increased, and our target number has increased. Are there ever times when our target moves backwards absent something like a international pandemic?
Well, so last time the baseline value was 7.9. Excuse me, and the PC said the 7-hour target. So this was in 2022. So I don't recall all the conversation, but they felt that that was a good moving backwards. They're setting a target lower than the baseline. Mm-hmm. This time the baseline, because mainly Center Street seismic, there's an unknown amount of who knows how people will react to it, what the delay is. The TAC felt it was prudent to put the value higher. Staff had thrown out a larger number because we're, putting a straw man out there for people to discuss. So, and we don't have any good tools to estimate this, but we are winging it.
And do we ever, a target would, to me, seem like something we're aiming toward, just based on the name, just target. Do we ever seek to take measures that would reduce our congestion? And is it always widening or making bigger? Do we ever?
Because, well, most of the
Mitigation
would be on the work from home, transit ridership, walking, biking. Economy plays a large.
Sure.
COVID played a huge amount, so gas prices, fuel prices.
So we as a policy committee, we're seeking to meet our target. We would look to these tools.
Yeah, we are. The policy committee has selected projects that everybody, granted, the projects would be those really from last TIP, because they're now being implemented as opposed to the current TIP, which will be implemented except for transportation options, program and chariots, and other similar.
No one else? I'll just open that.
So that the only construction project that was identified that may slow people down was the bridge, or the seismic bridge
Would be the
repair.
biggest one on
So
the national highway system.
I'm just thinking of the Delaney.
It's not on the national highway system.
Okay, so it's only on 22 and I-5.
It's only on the, well, it's more
I'm
than
looking at this map and it shows the
22. Yeah, so on the map, I-5 and then the roads that are shown in black are the ones that are on the national highway system.
Got it.
So ones that are light gray.
So we can get the feds to take care of Kubler and Gordon. Those are identified as national, right?
And those are on the
map.
national, those are on the national highway system. You already asked the Fed.
Yeah.
But the Delaney project isn't on there, nor any roads in Palmsville, so.
Okay.
And just out of curiosity, I moved to a house recently that's just off Market Street. Market Street, I would just never ever take my children cycling. We can't ride our bikes to work or to school down Market. It's too dangerous. We'll take the bus. But somebody told me that, when there have been conversations about reducing potentially like the lane capacity out to park to, reduce the back and forth and the speeding and stuff like that, which does have kind of an ultimate at times result in congestion, because when people are traveling above the posted limit, then there's compression waves at every signal and you reach points where the speed goes down and people have to all bunch up. So it kind of begets itself. But they, when I brought it up, a neighbor let me know that conversations about limiting the capacity on that road by reducing the number of travel lanes was a no-go because it is on the federal highway system. Is that accurate?
I wouldn't,
That's good news.
Well, take a look at Silverton Road, which Salem reduced from 4 lanes, 3 lanes in some places near the fairgrounds. So that was the city of Salem's decision to go ahead and implement that.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I can understand the tax raising for 2027, but I don't think you have high enough hours for 2029 with the Center Street Bridge seismic impact it's going to have on our region. Coming one direction, going west would be no problem, but coming east out of West Salem, we'll have 1 lane on Wallace Road open at times and Rosemont. And right now it backs, Walsh Road will back clear up beyond the Church to Hope. When we cut that to one lane, it's going all the way back to Brush College. So it's gonna double. So I would make that closer to 8 than 7.5 and give us hopefully some room to meet our goals, but make them realistic, that they can be attained. No, what do you
Polk
thought?
County, oh gosh.
We're tough.
That's
Yeah.
it.
It's a rough place to live. So. Any your thoughts on that?
Well, I think Sadie's point was looking at these individually. I'm not sure what individually meant.
Oh, I'm sorry. There are the two targets. So there's this one and then the percent of non-single occupancy vehicle. That's a separate target.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
So geographically though, we don't break it down. In other words, huh?
No.
It's just a total,
This,
it's
that's,
just the SKATS border region,
yep.
even though Polk County is the lagger here. We can film that because we don't have the data. And do we have the data?
We could probably just say that all the hours of delay are in Polk County and Marion County is held harmless.
Oh yeah, we're
Yeah.
minus delay.
Like that.
Speed.
Love.
You can tell by our circuit court in 100-mile-an-hour.
That's crazy. It's crazy these days.
All right, I got it now.
All right.
So do you want to raise it, Mr. Chair? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm just asking for your opinions on this. I mean, you want to keep it where it is? Or do you want to raise it
Well, they're raising it
for
for
2029? 2027, I'm good with, but the 2029 delays start on the bridge 2029. That's when we started expecting delays.
So go another 2/10 then.
2/10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like, I should
This is-
be. If I hear it's.
Going once?
Gold anyway.
Where's the dartboard?
It's in my office.
Yeah. If it meant something for us to hit it, like if we got,
Yeah.
or if we missed it, got
Yeah.
more money or
It's
something.
a self-reflecting target. What do you hope to?
Yeah.
Get to?
You got a smiley face in 4 years or you got a frowning face, but.
It's like get
But do we
0.8.
revisit this in the meantime?
Thank you.
So in 2 years.
So in 2 years, we can look again and see how Center Street's going and then say we like 7.9 more than 7.7 versus 8, so we can change it at that point.
Sounds great.
So it's
Okay.
all up to what you guys want to do.
Are we good with that?
With what?
Yeah.
With 7.7.
Okay.
Okay, so 7.5 for 2027 and 7.7 for 2029.
Yes.
We'll revisit this in 2027. To whenever, December, whenever the report's due, so that will be probably early 2028 and set the 2029.
Right. Okay.
And then we'll come to the motion bit later. So percent of non-single occupancy vehicle travel. This is. Okay, so this is a 5-year average using data from the American Community Survey. And it's for the Salem urban area, not the SKATS boundary. So the Salem urban area is a slightly smaller geographic boundary.
Half of that.
No, it's not quite half.
So it's the city limits and the urban growth boundary of Salem.
It's city limits. It's the urban growth boundary. It includes Turner, Bombsville, but it doesn't include. So when we did the boundary, we had to take a little bit more than the urban area just to make sure we included some roads. That doesn't have the urban area on it. Oh, okay. So, so you can think it's close, but not exactly. Sorry, I don't have a map. I would say in 2024, we looked at this, but that's probably not helpful. Data, unfortunately, is only available in November for the previous year, so we are using 2024 as the value for the baseline. Again, what happened last time? The 2020 baseline was 25.2%. The PC met and set the target for 22 and 2024 as 22.7%. So to meet the target, it's greater than or equal to that value. And the actual value was 28.1% in 2022 and 31.9% in 2024. So we met the targets on both times. That is primarily due to work from home due to everyone working from home after COVID. And because it's a 5-year average, definitely in the 2024 value, we are getting 2020 to 2024. So we got the highest values for that. In your packet and shown on the screen, this is just showing the percent of non-single occupancy vehicle travel, both with and without work from home included in the data. So the without work from home, that's the green line, and you can see it's been decreasing slightly from 2010 to 2024. But if you include work from home in 2020, the value starts to increase up to the 31.9%. Looking at the work from home only in the 1-year estimate from the American Community Survey, you can see the large jump after COVID. And so in 2021, it was about 17.5%, and it's been decreasing slightly to 12.3% in 2024. So the TAC took that into consideration. And also that the work from home probably going to change a lot more in the next 4 years. You never know. Then, of course, we have the unknown reaction, how people react and change their travel based on the Center Street seismic, which is really a big unknown. Their recommended target values are 30% for both midpoint and in-year. Again, now up to discussion.
Okay.
I would just like to point out that I think there's a sentence in here that says there's a trend in Chariot's ridership over the same period, which is 2010 to 2024, which has seen a decrease since 2008. And I think overall that is true, but we have recovered our pre-COVID ridership numbers.
But it's still
It's still down overall.
It's still down overall.
Just
but
the sentence is a little misleading to me.
Your thoughts, everybody, go with those numbers? Hearing nothing. Okay,
All right.
let's move forward.
So let's do some real time editing here. No. This is the summary of the proposed targets, 7.5 and 7.7 and 30%. There are the next steps. Approve resolutions 26-11 and 26-12 that will be changed as soon as that's before I can. But before the chair signs it, I'll put in the correct values into the resolutions. That's the values that are highlighted in the resolutions. After adoption, they will be sent to ODOT for submittal to Federal Highway. And we'll come back and discuss this in 2 years. We'll discuss those two targets in 2 years at a future meeting sometime this year, probably, hopefully. We'll discuss options for target setting for the remaining federal performance of the transit and the remaining roadway ones.
Mr. Chair, if you're ready, I'll take a motion to approve resolution 2611, noting that the 2027 set at 7.5 and 2029 at 7.7.
Okay.
Is there a second to the motion?
Yeah.
Okay, you're saying, okay. So we have motion and a second for resolution 2611 at 7.5 and 7.7. So all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion passes. Okay. Resolution 26-12. The motion,
Move we approve resolution 26-12 for our non-single occupancy vehicle travel federal performance measure as recommended by staff.
I'll second the motion.
it's been moved in second for resolution 26-12. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Motion passes. Okay, comes to fall for July's MPO structure discussion. As we left this, we had a motion and a second for Salem to accept or to gain 2 votes and allow Hollinsville to come in as 1. So I asked everybody to go back and talk to the boards because I am a member of 3. So our board, and I'll share with this, our board, it was a no. We would not accept that. Based on, one of my commissioners served 8 years on this committee. And this committee is one of the most, menial committee worked on. There was dissension at times around bicycle pedestrian pathways, but they all unified around the majority of the projects, which was greater benefit for all the region. And that's one thing that we've had in years up until just the last couple of years. We all understand when we come into this, we are here representing in a region, not just your entity, but a region.
Mr. Chair, just,
Yes.
are you speaking to the motion right now?
I am. Yes. So
The motion that was tabled?
motion that was tabled.
So let me make a motion to take it from the table, put it on the floor immediately.
I think we should do that. It hasn't been agended. Can we put a motion?
It was tabled, sure.
It's tabled.
So,
Can we
Look it to me.
bring it back for discussion?
Parliamentary vote.
I'm not the poetarian. That's why our legal counsel's here.
Okay.
To talk about this. So, as you notice in the agenda, the action was not to take a vote on anything. So just to be clear, the agenda didn't say anything about a vote. The agenda was to discuss Salem's position with the board, so we can have any discussion today. And then the second one at the end of last month was to set the stage for some work sessions going forward with the chair and the vice chair. That was what staff was prepared.
Just clarify, is Salem represented here today?
Yes,
Is
the mayor is
the mayor a voting member?
The mayor can be the alternate for Bang, Councilor Bang. Yeah.
Okay, was there an action item scheduled last time?
I don't believe there was.
But somebody made a motion.
Bring up last month's agenda. I don't have it with me today.
So let's back this up. Don't vote, but I want to have this discussion. So everybody knows where we're at, where everybody stands, and then we can move forward. So what happened 2 years ago, we have new people here. And I want to know where everybody stands so we can have some good, frank discussion to get this behind us. And hopefully find a resolution to make this work for everybody. So I'm just telling you what happened at my board meeting. And I'm interested in finding out what the rest of you discussed at your board meetings and where your boards stand. So then we can leave it at that, but.
So just to clarify, this isn't about the motion that was tabled. It's not.
All right, well, to me it is
Well, it
because,
can't be because the motion's on the table someplace else.
You ever had a motion?
Yeah, you have to bring the motion to the floor for an immediate vote.
okay,
I make that motion. Can I get a second?
is there a second?
I'll second it.
So moving second to take it off the table and bring it back to immediate discussion.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks for everybody on that. So now, immediate discussion. You guys have heard where Polk County stands. We believe one vote for one entity. And that's where it should be. we are open to other aspects. And thoughts that came, but right now it is, the question was, Salem come in with 2 votes and I'm gonna come with 1. And that's what I brought to my board. Would they accept that? And the answer was no. So I'm gonna open up for other discussions, and other thoughts with other people.
Chair, can I make some clarification to answer Commissioner's question? So last month in July, the purpose of the meeting was for staff to review the April 2024 vote on the motion to add a second vote for the city of Salem. So that motion was way back in 2024. We had that on the agenda to explain to the newer members what happened, what the outcome of the vote was, why we didn't go forward with actually creating an amendment to the cooperative agreement because of that vote and because of the objection of the way the motion was carried forward as far as Robert's rules. So I guess you could say it was tabled from 2024, and we haven't had that kind of motion yet in 2026. So I think you're bringing up a motion from 2024. I'm understanding your question. So there wasn't a motion on.
So last meeting,
Yeah.
that we had, my man made a motion. That Salem come on, that's the exact how she worded, I want to make a motion. That Salem comes on with 2 votes and we allow them to end with 1.
Representing, she had
And
talked
it
to
was
staff,
seconded.
she had talked to staff and had got that direction from staff. That was what the city of Salem wanted to do. We go back and listen to the tape. So there was a motion made and then we tabled the motion.
Okay, I didn't capture that in the minutes. So I'll
Approved.
I'll just have to say that if you work with that there was a motion, but I don't remember us. I'd have to look at the tape again. I think she stated her position quite a bit. Right. She stated her position as a representative of Salem. What she thinks Salem's position was that a second vote was the most accurate and proportional option that they considered. So it was really essentially a stating her position. I don't think she made a formal motion.
Well, then why did we table it?
We tabled. I'm sorry, Commissioner, I'd have to look at the tape. I don't recall a formal motion made by her and seconded at that meeting, to be honest. So.
Okay.
She was mostly stating their position for discussion purposes so that we can move forward, because before then, we weren't sure.
Okay,
Since time has
so there's
passed.
not a motion on the table, correct?
I'd asked Tyler if he has an opinion about the 2024 motion that got tentatively approved, but then was informally questioned by you and your staff.
I'm not going back to 2024. I just want to clarify that you said there's no, so we're clarifying because it's not in the notes, not in the minutes, that there was not a motion made and tabled last meeting.
Right. Can you open the full transcript that AI does and see if there was any mention of a motion? We'll look at that.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, go ahead.
So I just questioned it in the minutes. Chair Morris asked SKATS members to talk to respective boards about this topic. So then in the August SKATS member, we can share any feedback from their respective boards. Because we couldn't make that vote without board approval. So why would we be coming back to this in minutes if it was not a motion made? So we can table it again. But at the same time, I'm hoping people did go back and discuss this with their boards.
I did.
Because that's what we talked about, and I'd like to know where we stand. So we all understand, everybody with all the new members, what's going on, where we're at. And we can move forward. So.
Yeah, I can speak on behalf of the transit board. They are hopeful that the policy committee would consider a more thorough, thoughtful conversation about MPO membership in keeping with US Code 23 US Code 134, considering equitable and proportional representation of the regional population. Mayor.
Well, I know it was discussed that one year we'd have Amsoil vote, another year Turner. I don't want anything to do with that. I think Amsoil should have a vote. I mean, why even be in it if they don't have a vote? And not only that, even though I represent 3,000 people, there's all kinds of people drive right through Turner and Amsoil all the time. So really, we're here discussing, representing all kinds of folks. That I as far as Salem getting 2 votes, well, does Marion County get 2 votes as well? Because their population is far greater than Salem. If we're going to be
Not within the
proportional.
MPO boundary,
Pardon me?
not within the MPO.
Yeah,
boundary.
okay, but still, once again, it's the same thing. They represent people that use these roads all the time. So, I mean, we can draw lines around things all we want, but who's using roads? And somebody needs to speak for that as well. So, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of giving Salem 2 votes. I do want to give all of Amsoil a vote. Commissioner Cameron.
Well, I went back to our board and asked the question, and no, they're fine with going with alternating votes. If we couldn't get a vote for Amsoil by themselves, they were fine going with an alternating vote. What I will say is, and I'm going to continue to make this representation. It's not about me, but the Marion County Commissioners represent everybody that's within the city of Salem limits. The projects that we have gotten money for, and I could talk, city of Salem's here, Ward Drive, part of that is in the city of Salem. We've connected that up with city of Salem. Sure, it shows up on our spreadsheet, but it's about this region. Center Street, State Street, Lancaster, the money we've gotten for Lancaster out of this connects up with the city of Salem. It's not Marion County only. Cordon Road, Maclay, that intersection out there where city of Salem has developed. Yeah, we got money for that. Who benefits from it? It is the whole region. And this body has been so productive over so many years until 2 years ago when somebody came in here and said, we need more votes than somebody else. And I asked the former mayor, not this mayor, I gave him the spreadsheet. I said, what did you not get on this that you wanted? He couldn't answer anything. So I don't know what the problem is here. But we're not gonna give Salem 2 votes. The way it was, and with all due respect, last meeting, somebody called out 3 jurisdictions here that were holding this thing up. And I want to call for a vote today. I want to make a motion, and I can ask for a motion to move forward. And then we'll see who's holding this thing up. You want to play that way? Let's play that way.
Yeah.
Amsoil doesn't feel like anyone needs additional votes if you've all been able to get along and do everything the way it is. But we would just like to have an official status. If it came to having to share with Turner, we're willing to do that, but we think if each person district should have their own say.
Thank you for being here for the last 2 years.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
I didn't get a chance to discuss this with our council this last month, but the last time we discussed it, it was, yeah, we don't want to give Salem a second vote. But we were happy to allow Amsoil to have a vote.
yeah.
From an outside person looking in, because I attend these meetings with purpose. I don't understand why Amsoil.
All 3 members, she's just here as a citizen.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here as a community, but I have never understood.
But consent to return to public comment.
Let's return to public comment. These 2 sit in our meetings. so I don't know if you ever miss any. So I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Mr. Chair, I'll ask for unanimous consent that we can return to public comment.
Anybody in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nay, nay. Thank you. Okay, Kevin.
So from where I sit, I've never understood why Almsville hasn't had a voice. It's always bothered me. I don't particularly care if Salem has 2 votes or not. When I first started coming, these meetings were very productive. Everybody got along. I believe Mayor Clark was actually chair when I first started coming. And meetings rolled really smooth. Everybody was free, shared their voices. There wasn't as much tension in the room. I would just like to find a way for us to get back to that, because Commissioner Cameron's right. It's county, it's Salem, it's Keizer. If we can't live together, play together, work together, we're gonna fall. And we're not gonna be able to meet the needs of the people that we serve and that you serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Jack, would you like to share anything?
I disagree with him. I'm feeling in Toronto, they should have a voice at the table because they're right outside of Salem. And they have, the people drive from Ontario to come to Salem to work and to shop most of the time.
Is there anybody online from the public who'd like to comment at this time before I close the public comment? Okay, so we're closing public comment. So, Badge Counselor, so Mayor Hoy, thank you for joining us today. Would you like to share your thoughts?
I would. It's consistently troubled me that this wasn't just a no-brainer, that Almsville should have a voice and that Salem doesn't need to. It kind of reminds me of a conversation I had in a meeting. I think it was Mill City needed to build a new treatment facility. And in that meeting, staff and others came to ask for our support and wanted a letter from us. And I was like, what can we do? How can we help you? And someone else at the table said, well, wait a minute now. What are you going to do for us? And I said, are you serious? And the person said, yes, I'm serious. Of course I'm serious. And I said, if my neighbor needs a cup of sugar, I give them a cup of sugar. I don't take away their flour so they can't make a cake. You know, we are here to work together, to help each other, to live in community, and we're talking about transit. We all need it. We all use it. I can be on Lancaster and drive in and out of county and city, one block after another. You know, to me, it's not a difficult decision or choice to make. So my plan is to bring this forward in a motion at the next council meeting so that our body can discuss it. I don't know if you know, but we've been under a tremendous amount of scrutiny for the last couple of years, and we can't talk about things with each other outside of the public meeting. So we will do that. My vote today would be in favor of a vote for Almsville and 1 vote for Salem, if we come to that.
No.
Thank you. I'd like to first ask for a clarification. In the beginning of the meeting, when we were stating different people's positions, didn't Mike come back and say that the city was in favor of Salem having 2 votes?
So my bank said she spoke with staff.
Yeah, and they said they were in favor of 2 votes, which is different from what Julie is saying. Julie's saying she's in favor.
I was never asked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, my stance is I wasn't here in 2024. I don't know what all went down. I know that since I've been here, I will side with Tammy. It's been contentious and meetings have been long. I asked for clarification of Councilor Duran. I think I asked you directly, maybe last meeting or meeting before, why Keizer was in on this, and you said you simply just did not like the way the person that represented you voted. And that was what, I mean, thinking, anyway, it doesn't matter. You're right, we're driving, it's transit, we all use it. Every project, everybody that lives in this area benefits from. So I see a lot of, I want a project approved for my area or for my area. And I don't think any of that matters. It's all roads. We all use it. So I think Almsville should have a vote. I do. I think that anybody that shows up here to meetings should have a vote. If weighting votes is a consideration, I'll consider that, but I just want to move on from this, frankly. It's my position.
Thank you all. Appreciate that. Is there anybody in line who'd like to comment? See, Anna's shaking her head no. Kathy Clark? Chair of this for years, would you like to comment?
No, thank you. I was our representative now.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
I'm really not surprised to see a vote pushed to happen today, given my experience in the other meetings where me and Sadie and Mai were referred to as a wall. Knowing that Mai's not here today and Julie is in her place with a differing opinion than Mai said that the city brought back, you guys will get what you want. So I'm not surprised.
I didn't know Mai wasn't going to be here today.
That has nothing to do with it.
Okay. So thank you all for sharing your thoughts and concerns, and that was what I wanted to get out. So everybody knows where everybody stands. And this, again, Kevin Cameron said it perfectly. We've got so much done over all the years. And lately we've just been at a stalemate. It's very frustrating. We are here for one community. That's Salem-Keizer. I mean, they are our economic engine. And when we benefit them, they benefit all of us in every way. Economically, they would provide most of our jobs, the stability for our region. And we have 92,000 people in Polk County. Probably 80,000 of them make their living. 70,000 in Salem region right here. And that's important to me, getting them to their jobs and back home safely and building infrastructure so we can thrive. And that's what makes our region work. So we all stay focused as one. So, any other comments on this?
Let's vote.
Are you entertaining a motion, Mr. Chair, or not?
I'll entertain a motion.
Well, I move we give Almsville a full vote and just everything else stays the same.
But before there's a second, I would just offer a clarification on the language for that vote, for that motion, excuse me. The only way to change the voting makeup is to amend the cooperative agreement and have that cooperative agreement accepted by all of the participating jurisdictions. So I would recommend that the motion be worded to be a direction to staff to prepare an amendment to the current cooperative agreement that would add Almsville as a voting member and would not change the other voting makeup.
So amended.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay.
Chair, can I just add something? So, eventually that's where we want to go. Direction from this policy committee of what, if the cooperative agreement should be amended and what should that amendment be? And we would prepare that draft and start circulating it. Now, according to what Tyler said, we're under the impression that we have to get everyone's signature on the existing agreement for that agreement to, for that amendment to be valid. So if there was one no, or one entity that refused to sign it, then we're kind of back to square one. And back to square one might be changing the amendment, or it might be a total replacement of the cooperative agreement. So I just want to give that outline of procedurally, that's what we're under the impression. Should we mention, we talked about work sessions, we really didn't bring that up, Chair. I know we're right in the middle of a motion, but.
Yeah, we are.
So that's up to you, Chair.
If it comes to the motion, Mr. Chair.
To the motion.
Speak to the motion. And I think this is the right thing to bring Almsville, who's been sitting at this table without a vote for a long time. But I think Almsville can see how this, even though, yes, things maybe move slower, they haven't been like smooth like they used to be. But Almsville can see how this body is operated. They even have a project in there. And everybody sitting around this table has some projects in there. And that is the way we should be going. And that's why I think we should continue on with this motion. And we will represent all the people that we represent. I will make sure that Salem's getting what they need because it's Marion County. Almsville's getting what they need. Polk County's getting what they need because I know people that work in Marion County or live in Polk County or whatever, vice versa. So I think this is the right thing to do so we can put this behind us, get everybody on board, and keep doing the work that we've done for many, many years in a cooperative way. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I maybe have a question, Chair, and that is much of our transit success relies upon ability to place stops. And to place a stop, we need to connect to an ADA network of sidewalks. And so sidewalks cost money when you put them in place. And so I am curious if there are differences in the systems development charges between the Marion County portion of the urban growth boundary for the city of Salem and the city of Salem's, because those systems development charge differences could relate to whether or not there is sidewalk infrastructure in place that would allow transit to succeed.
So the project, if I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes, please.
The projects that we have done through SKATS within the urban growth boundary are urbanized. They have sidewalks, they have bike lanes, all those projects. So like Lancaster, or what's the one up north I'm thinking of? Yeah, the W Ward, yeah. That all got urbanized through that neighborhood, and it's city and county. All those projects are done to the same standard that the city would be doing their projects. The question on system development charges, I couldn't tell you whether ours are the same as the city of Salem and how that impacts these projects. I don't know it matters because we have to contribute certain funds to that. Where those funds come from is our road funds. Typically.
I can tell you in Almsville, system development charges have to do with a building, not with improvements.
I don't understand. You mean roadway improvements?
Right. Sidewalks are part of roadways. So like when you build a subdivision, the subdivider has to put the sidewalks and everything in. When we go through and replace or repair, that is not part of system development charges.
That's true for all of us too.
Yeah.
For my house on Center Street, $95,000 worth of sidewalk and road improvement.
Any other comments? Okay. So we have a motion and a second to bring Almsville back in as one vote. As one vote to amend the cooperative agreement to bring Almsville in. Give them one vote and everyone else would stay the same. On that note, all those in favor, please say aye.
Can we do a, thanks, I'm sorry. Can we do a roll call? It'd be easier for the minutes if we had a.
Sure.
Restate the motion.
Sure.
Can you read the motion as a motion?
Tyler, can you read the motion?
There we go.
Got the lawyer to read it. I can't read it because I didn't write it down, but
All right, well, basically, it was,
the motion was to direct staff to prepare an amendment to the current cooperative agreement to add Almsville as a voting member and not change any other voting makeup.
And that would be that first section of the cooperative agreement where it lists the members and the voting members. That'd be the only section that would be, just like it was for Turner. We would amend that section.
And Ray, would you like to follow the roll?
Oh, I suppose so.
Anna,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes,
you be using official names?
that's okay. I've been called worse.
Mayor Schaffler,
Aye.
Lady, board member. Oops, I got Mel back there. I know.
No,
Mayor Hoy,
yes.
Yes. Still right.
Six yeses,
Two no's.
two no's.
Yeah.
So now we know who's good.
The two no votes, just once yes, two no votes being trans district and the school.
So just to clarify, you'll bring this for all of us to sign, and if one voting member refuses to sign, then it's moot.
I'll talk to Tyler again about this.
Okay.
Because it is an agreement that all the parties to the policy committee had signed by the representatives. So like I said, there's some question in my mind that if we don't get all of them to re-sign, is it a valid amendment? I would lean to probably saying no. I don't know if Tyler's quite prepared to give an answer because I did ask him that question earlier, but I think it's something that staff could talk with Tyler about. But it is a kind of an open question. If one doesn't sign, then what do we have?
That's why I asked.
Okay.
We'll let the lawyer clean it out.
Yeah, and I think in the past, we sent out the amendments to bodies as opposed to having people here because especially for the counties, all three commissioners have historically signed that agreement, not just one. So we'd have to send it out, have, let's say, Marion County, all three signed, and send it to Turner. You decide who's to sign it for you. I assume as mayor, you would probably sign it, and so on and so forth. And in case of Salem, like Mayor Hoy just said, she's gonna have that on the agenda, and they're gonna decide for themselves, as a city, whether to sign or not.
But I don't need every counselor's, I probably could get every counselor's signature. I think they would love to have Almsville in this, but just one per city, like the mayors, not the whole council, like the commissions.
Well, by the precedent we've done for the original agreement and the amendment in 2003, I think the counties were the only one to have multiple signatures. Everyone else had a single signature, including ODOT. Yeah. So, we will do what the motion says. I will confer with Tyler again about this issue about we don't get all the signatures and report back. In the meantime, we'll prepare the amendment and send after I confer with Tyler again. I think after we confer, then we have this amendment and we'll send it out. It'll be fairly simple. If you look at the 2003 amendment, we're adding Turner. It should be almost identical to that amendment.
Chair, can I?
Yes, sir.
So you'll have to look at your council rules. Our council rules say that we have to agree as a council, and then we designate somebody, usually the mayor, to sign. So
it's probably similar. I don't know
which
which fine question. Yeah, I'll certainly look into that. Okay.
And in this case, Almsville would be also asked to sign. just like Turner was asked to sign for the 2003 event. So. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything else critical in the process.
All right, let's move on. Thank you all very much. The summary of the SKATS Metropolitan Transportation Improvement Plan.
Okay, so there's an attachment in the meeting packet for agenda item. I'll zoom in a little. This is always a hard one to read, this table on the screen. But there were 4 amendments since our last July meeting. 2 of them were administrative amendments. 2 in the middle, numbers 2 and 3 were both full amendments that the committee reviewed and approved last month. One related to the Salem Industrial Drive railroad crossing, and one related to intersection warning signs for ODOT Region 2. And the newer ones, one was related to the River Road, French Prairie Road project. And this was just to slip the preliminary engineering phase from 2026 into 2027. So that's a staff approval. And then the last one is another larger ODOT project for all of Region 2 that just happens to have some locations in our MPO area. This is ongoing ADA curb ramp work that ODOT is undergoing. And so there was an increase in the total amount of funding for that key number. And that amendment's been approved as a staff amendment as well. No impact to SKATS discretionary funding for any of these amendments that took place. So that's all I have on that.
Thank you. Any questions for Steve?
But that is just a wild cost increase on that rail crossing. $1 million.
Well,
yeah.
I
mean, we talked about it last time.
It previously had construction funding, and yes.
Big number.
Yeah.
And the railroad answers to nobody.
No, rail is king.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Yeah, can I make a point?
Absolutely.
Sorry, this is follow-up to the amendment, the cooperative agreement amendment. We also have a SKATS bylaws that basically mimics the voting membership. So at some point after I want to get this on the record for the minutes, so it's there. At some point after the cooperative agreement is presumably signed by everyone, and if we get all the signatures, then we'll have to modify the SKATS PC bylaws appropriately. And there might be some other things to look at those bylaws since they haven't changed since 2003. So that's a step to be done in the future. And bylaws don't have to be signed by your individual jurisdictions. It's a vote at the meeting. It just has to be notified ahead of the meeting. Can't be brought up the day of the meeting to change the bylaws. It has to be notified ahead of the meeting that the bylaws will be changed. And then there's discussion and then motions to change it. So just want to make people aware that that will be potentially another step in the process.
Okay. All right. Everybody understand that one?
Yeah.
They know their hands. Okay. So we're going to item G, informational items, SKATS staff.
Thank you, Chair. So there's been a lot of discussion about the discretionary federal funding information. The last time we showed it to you, it didn't include the latest TIP projects. So I asked Steve to update the list. And so that memo is in the section in item here, G. So you have an updated list and breakdown of the discretionary funds over time. Yes, that's something you want to look at. The governor's transportation vision work group meeting. This is something the governor's been holding all year, looking at other states' approaches to revenues, obviously focusing on Oregon, accountability, long-term needs, etc. There's an article I included, unfortunately, it got stapled to the wrong section. So in Steve's list of modifications, it's the paperwork right after that. So it looks like this. It's got a headshot of all the.
I wondered what that was.
Yeah, it's got a headshot of all well, some of the members of the work group, and the article describes some of the things they've been working on. Probably maybe very important for this group is to both know what's going on.
27 of 30.
And know that there's an ongoing survey about funding issues, and there's a QR code at the end of this printout. So if you want to take the survey, that's a way to give your input on this work. The next thing was information items, excuse me. Good news. So we've been receiving something called redistribution funds. We've talked about it quite a bit over the years. It's funds the state of Oregon gets, and we have an agreement that if we meet certain targets for obligating our funds on time. So if we say this funding phase, like the design phase, is going to be, the funds are going to be obligated in a certain year, and we get that done. If we keep doing that consistently with design or right-of-way construction, we qualify to be part of that redistribution funds. So we've gotten anything from like 600,000 to well over $1.5 million. I think I don't have all the numbers. And so we've been told that Oregon's going to get about, it's asked for 85 or
95.
95 million of redistribution funds from federal highway. And once that is approved by federal highway, we will get a small share of that amount. It's like 1.25% or something in that neighborhood, which would mean about a little over $1 million, $1.2 million. We don't have the number today. My intent was to kind of share this good news, to also say that we'll have discussions at the TAC level and of course at the policy committee level about those funds. Where do we want to use them? Is there a project that is in need of those funds? That's what we've done in the past. We looked at which projects need extra funds and given those funds to that project. Right now, we don't know if any projects need funds, and that's what we've asked the TAC to think about and come back to future meetings to let us know. The first step is to know how much we got before we actually start coming up with any scenarios of what to do with $1 million plus. So I want to share that good news, but there's no action today. It's just expect to have more discussions at the TAC level and at this level about where those funds will be assigned.
And money could go a long ways.
Well, it has in the past. We filled some holes in various projects.
Let's just complete those projects.
If we can, if it's enough. Yeah. Any further questions about those funds? There's more details to be provided this fall. And then we have our I'm going to skip over the dates for now, Chair. As mentioned those. We're making good progress on the update of the long-range metropolitan transportation plan. We're working with your staff on project lists. We can put into the plan. Of course, those will be shared with you. We're working on funding forecasts that also go into the plan, and performance measures will be those targets we talked about earlier. They'll be added to the appendix. Ray didn't mention today, but there's a number of other performance targets that we'll be discussing going forward. The two talked about today were the only ones that we were the ones that determined the numbers. These other ones are usually state targets that we agree to adopt as our targets as well. So that's why he pulled out those two performance, but there's other ones that we'll be talking about in the months to come. Did I state that correctly? Right. Close enough. Close enough. Okay. And a little update about the Safe Routes to School program. We did buy our second trailer to hold bikes, partly with the assistance of Marion County, giving us $7,000 for that project. The Salem Rotary.
Lottery funds. Remember, there's lottery funds.
The Salem Rotary is helping us physically. We got together about a week ago and assembled all these bikes that are going to be used next year. Thanks to them. And as far as my staff, we've scheduled bicycle safety education at 11 schools and learn to ride classes for the little kids at I think it's like 8 and 4. I can't remember the breakdown, but we have 7 other schools that are going to do pedestrian safety and 6 schools can do public transit safety. So we're trying to ramp up the number of schools that get this this training and the service. So good news for that. And besides the dates there, that's all I have to say. If there's any questions.
Any questions, right on? All right, well, I want to thank everybody for coming. I know some of these conversations are never fun, but it's nice we had another one. And it didn't turn out as all the way they never do. But moving forward, I hope we can put this day behind us. We can get back to where we were. That's the long-term goal. So with that, we're adjourned. Thank you. With that.